Welcome. Hey, so welcome back to the garden. It's been kind of a while since we've done a garden update. I'm back at work a few days a week. Back at the office a few days a week. So I just don't have the time anymore to do the video side, but Allie and my sister have been working really hard on the garden. So we thought we'd give you guys a little bit of an update. It is the 4th of July weekend. Technically today is the 5th of July.
Yes. So I think the last time we showed you the garden was May, the end of May.
For sure.
When we planted.
So that's my fault. So we're gonna give you guys a little bit of an update. The garden is doing pretty well. We're starting to have some issues with animals eating things. We think it might be chipmunks. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah, so let's go look at the garden. So a few days ago we noticed things were starting to nibble in the garden. And so we've tried to fix it. We put some netting over them. And then the other day we came back to find, even though that we had laid netting, a couple of the broccoli plants have been eaten, which is unfortunate because we love broccoli. So today I'm going to try to create some poles to sort of hold it up away from the plant so that when the animal, whatever it is, comes in, tries to get it, it won't be right up against the plant so they can't pull it out of the netting. So here's my idea, my thought process. I feel the netting will go around the outside of the pole, so I'm putting some thumbtacks in so it will get caught on that and hold it up. So in this row we planted bell peppers, spicy peppers, and some cabbage. And we do have a few small pepper plants in here that we started from seed. And the other day we did buy this larger pepper plant because the other ones are taking too long to grow, and it's nice to see some growth in the garden. And this is the sad bed. We did have beautiful cabbages, but then they got eaten by whatever's in our garden. So, well, there's still one plant there, maybe. There's one right here. But there was like 7 of them, so it's sad that now it's only 1. This is our spaghetti squash that we started inside as seedlings. And they've grown quite a bit. We're getting some flowers, and this one has a fruit on it. We also planted sage in the middle to help deter some of the insects that like to crawl around. This is an acorn squash, and we started this one inside also. And they're just getting huge, and inside you can't see from there, but there are some flowers and some more fruit starting. So that just makes it nice when you walk in the garden and see these big flowers and plants, and you're like, yes, I'm winning. In this row is our broccoli and our carrots. And our broccolis are coming along pretty nicely. Again, we had 2 casualties to whatever's eating in here, but hopefully we'll catch it so it doesn't eat it again. And here's some transplants we did the other day. We went to the nursery and bought some starter plants, and these are the new cabbages. They're just a little dry right now, but they're bouncing back from the shock of being transplanted. And then we have some kale over on this side. And then this big guy is another acorn squash. We really like acorn squashes, so we're okay that we're growing a bunch of them. There's a bunch of flowers on this one as well. Looking very healthy, very good. Not too many insect bites on it, which is always good. And again, another acorn squash, but this one was from seed versus the other one that we started indoors. So it is smaller, but it is coming along as well. So this is our radish bed, and we've planted a lot of radishes, and they're all at varying stages, but some are ready to be picked, so maybe later this week we'll pick them. And we did have some, and we pickled them as well. And we'll have to do a video to show you how we do the pickle. Here we have planted potatoes, and they're coming in really well. Potatoes are my favorite thing to harvest because they just keep coming out of the ground, and it's like digging for treasure, and then you get to have a great baked potato. And here's some honeydew we just transplanted as well. So it's doing okay, just needs a little more water. Here's our bean row, and for a long time they were the only thing growing in our garden. But as you can see, they got nibbled on. We do have new ones growing in. So hopefully, there's some flowers on here, so hopefully it's enough to survive. It is just sad when they get eaten. This bed is the saddest bed of all. Usually our sugar snap peas are just growing out of control. And we've replanted and replanted, and this is what we have. They did get a little nibbled, but they were growing for a bit, and it's just so sad. And these are bush beans, and they're doing pretty well. They did get mowed down a little before we put up netting, but they're flowering, and we have much more coming in. So those will be good to harvest, and they just keep growing bigger and bigger. And then this is our one eggplant bush. I just wanted to try growing eggplants. I don't even know if I like eggplant, so we'll find out. And that's how our garden's doing.
Well, hello from the future. The video you're watching is from our 4th of July garden update. It is now August, getting towards the middle of August. And we're just shelling some black beans that we pulled out of the garden earlier today. We wanted to give you guys a couple of little updates. It was a woodchuck in the garden.
Yeah.
We did catch a woodchuck, and we thought we had the problem sorted out. And then we had some more nibbles that we weren't expecting. So we think there's at least one more woodchuck. I mean, it makes sense that there would be more than one woodchuck. So we've got some more work there to do. These black beans are green.
Those ones aren't ready yet.
Yeah, you'll see in the video in a couple of weeks, we replanted some beans, and one of the things we did was we pulled out of the garden all of the black beans that we had planted because the plants kind of got stunted. So a lot of them are looking good. They're nice and black, but some of them are still kind of fresh.
I think we should separate them and give the greens some more time to dry.
Okay.
Before we shell them.
I just think we could eat them as fresh beans.
Oh.
But that's fine. We should definitely keep them separated. So we did lose the ducks.
Yeah, that was sad.
Ducks have a tendency, or had a tendency, to kind of rest by the door of their pen, and something snuck up. A fox or a coyote snuck up and
grabbed one of them, and then we think the others tried to help it. I don't really know. It just is so weird that whatever it was able to kill them through the fence.
Yeah, because it never got into their pen. Their pen was pretty safe, so...
They pulled one out of the pen.
Yeah. And so now we have a bit of a hawk issue as well, because it's really too bad. I mean, there were bits of duck all over the yard, so the hawks knew where to come and get a good meal. And so now the chickens are...
frightened.
Yeah, they keep running back into their coop, which is good. They're protecting themselves, but it's too bad.
Yeah.
But the garden's doing pretty well, so we got the, a little bit of a woodchuck issue, but a lot of it's doing really well. We didn't really talk about the corn in that video, but at the time of that video, the corn was about 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall. It continues to do really, really well.
I think it's like 7 feet tall now.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah. So you'll see that in a garden update in the next couple of weeks.
Another little pest problem we have in the garden is squash bugs and cucumber beetles. And if you're a gardener, you know they are bad for the garden, and they're able to transmit a bacteria into the plant that keeps it from getting water, and then it wilts and dies. So trying to take care of that problem has been a challenge. So we just hope that the squashes get to be harvested before they succumb to...
Yeah. We've had good luck with the spaghetti squash. I mean, they're growing a lot of squash, but every time we go to pick a squash, there's like wormholes or something, and some kind of caterpillar or something that's burrowing into them. So that's kind of how things go with the garden. You think you're doing so well on one thing, and then it all happens. It all changes in one day.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue to shell these beans, and I hope you guys have a great week.